one.
Part 2. Episode 179. We should write it on the paper.
You keep track of that. I don't. I'm Sheila, also known as Sheila D37.
And I'm Wendy, also known as Pennywinnie. And if this is your first time watching us, welcome to the show. And if you are a return viewer, hey, how you doing? Welcome back. I thought I did change it up a little bit.
I just want to mention, I noticed this, I think it was yesterday.
Yeah.
We are now currently 7 members away from hitting 1,500.
We might have to give away some prizes. That 1,500.
We might. Maybe it'll just be, surprise.
You know what? It's amazing to me that we made it that far.
I know. We were shocked. We were wondering if we'd get 100 or 500.
I know.
Now we got 1,500.
It's cool. I love it.
So thank you for joining our group.
Yeah, thank you for joining
the group.
And
that's only people who have joined the group, because there are people who don't, which is fine.
Which is fine, too. We don't make you join the group.
No.
Well, Sheila might make you say hi to her, but she won't make you join the group. Everybody's afraid of you now.
Do you know, I talked to a couple of my coworkers about that, and they're laughing, because I was thinking about it. I am a totally different person at work than I am outside. And then when I tell the people that I'm shy, they look at me like, yeah, no. I'm like, really?
Well, you know what it is? In your work milieu, you feel...
My what?
Milieu.
Okay.
You feel comfortable.
I do.
And confident. And so that's who you are. But in the world, that's not who you are.
No.
So...
You need your blood drawn? I'm all there with confidence.
If you're just in the world, she's like...
I'm hiding behind Wendy's back.
That's right. Exactly. Because me, I wouldn't be comfortable in your work. But...
It's so weird.
I don't know. I'd probably be the nurse that everyone was afraid of. Since at my old job, apparently the interns were afraid of me because I was scary.
I had somebody I was training today, and she's like, "Oh, I like you because, I'm not afraid of you." I'm like, okay. She goes, "I'm not intimidated by you." I'm like, "Is that good or bad?"
To this
that could be taken 2 different ways.
To this day, I'm torn. I mean, on the one hand, as an attorney, it was good to be intimidating to opposing counsel because it meant that I got my way more often, which is kind of your goal for your client. But I had the most people attend my going away party because they were afraid not to. That's what my friend said, Rich. And I'm like, afraid because I might
do something?
I guess I was scary. I was a scary attorney. I'm not, in real life, I'm not a scary person.
Well, see, and it's funny, because I'm more friendly because you have to be. I guess maybe it's considered customer service. I'm all for the customer service. And it's funny, because I have a coworker who doesn't like to talk on the phone about certain things, so whenever she has an issue, I pick up the phone and dial. I am all for getting on the phone and saying, "Hi, this is so-and-so. We have a lab for such and such. It's a duplicate. Do we really need to do it?" But if I had to do that in front of you, I'd be stammering.
Well, I guess because
she doesn't want to do that. I don't know.
I used to take the interns with me to court, and I guess I was
scary. Scary mofo.
I guess I was. And I know attorneys used to bring me to their depositions because I was scary, yeah. I would just make people say stuff. I mean, not in a bad way, but I didn't put up with. I didn't coddle people.
Right.
We had a lady that started crying, and I know she wanted to elicit sympathy from me, but she was on the opposing side, and she was kind of using it to deflect. Yeah. So I would hand her a tissue, and then I would say, "Can you go forward?" And I wouldn't give any more sympathy.
They're going to try and get you at the heartstrings.
And the men in the deposition with me were like, "You are so cold." And I said, "I'm here to do a job. I'm not here to, I feel bad for her that she's crying, but I also know, based on the facts, that this woman is a big liar." Right. We won that case. Except for one guy settled because he felt so sympathetic. He called me up afterwards. He was like, "I should have listened to you." I said, "I told you that woman was lying."
No,
maybe I'm scary.
But see, it's just funny because in your work persona, you're indifferent than your personal persona, and same with me. To me, it's a customer service job.
Well, do I seem scary to you?
Oh, I'm so afraid of
you. You should be.
I'm only here because I'm afraid not to be.
Oh my god!
I'm only your friend because I'm afraid not to be. Sorry.
Oh my god.
I go from the point of making you my friend to the point of I'm afraid not to be your friend.
You forced me to be your friend, and now you're like, crap, what have I done? You're making me cry and laugh. Oh my god.
Oh, sorry. 10 minutes later, our announcements are...
Oh my gosh, that's funny.
We have two contests we're drawing for at the end of the show.
Sock Architecture PDF.
And Grape and Grain.
Grape and the Grain.
Thank you.
By Carrie Weimer.
I'm trying to read your short notes.
Those are the two contests we're drawing for. Also, this week we're doing something new. We are holding a contest sponsored by Twist Fiber Studio, who is, I think it's Ashley Askew. It's her last, or Askew. I don't know how to pronounce it. Sorry. But she is running a Kickstarter to start a small fiber and yarn business.
And we'll explain
And we'll talk about that
later.
in Gossiping Innuendo, but she is sponsoring a contest for the month of October. So we'll talk about that at the end. And stay tuned because she has a lot of really pretty stuff and good prizes that you might want to try for. So,
on that note, now that
on the dance card, I'm like, my eyes are like totally watering.
Now that we've twisted friendship every which way, left, backwards, forwards.
I'm sorry, I'm scary. I just didn't even know.
And
but
I'm shy.
If you are in a lawsuit, you want a scary attorney.
Oh, yes, absolutely.
Oh, my goodness.
And if you're in the medical field, you want a friendly person.
That's right. You want a comforting person. I probably wouldn't be comforting. I'd be like, we're going to get this done. Just suck it up and let me stick this needle in you. And
well,
people
that's what I say to my son, but...
That's how I am with my kids. Walk it off. You're fine. All right.
Get up. Walk it off.
You're fine. It's not broken. Let's go.
On the dance card.
On the dance card. So I have two things on the dance card. I mentioned last week that I had a skein of Soft Kitty on the Sparkly Sock Base by Fiber Nymph Dye Works. This is it. It's mostly gray with a little stripe of black and pink. And I am mostly done with one sock. Try to get there. That's a much better look at it.
Which pattern is that?
This is Mystic Spiral by Sort of a Knitter, Josh Reichs. And except that I did my own regular toe. Excuse me. And based on the last pair that I knit, it's a 68 stitch sock, and that's way too big for me. So I did it over 64 stitches, which is my usual. Also, I did a Fish Lips Kiss heel instead of the heel from the pattern. And I didn't follow the instructions for the increases and decreases that he uses on the, when you make the striping. I used the ones, he does a yarn over type increase.
Right.
I used a make one increase because I don't like the yarn over increase. It's just not my favorite thing. I like to use what's familiar to me. And I picked up the stitches differently because I like to pick them up the way that I do them. So
it's his sock.
It's his idea, but mostly I didn't follow the pattern at all. I
just followed the
idea of
design.
I made this design element on it, but I didn't do it
way.
I didn't do it the way that he wrote it. But I really like these socks. I think they knit up really fast. This was mostly knit in 3 days. I haven't really worked on it since I was very busy, and I had to go and wait in a doctor's office, and I had a lot of to-go knitting, and this is what I did. So I love it. I'm gonna I don't usually do this, but I'm gonna make the leg as long as the toe.
How come? Out of curiosity.
Because I have a lot of this yarn left, and I really like it, so I want to use as much of it as I can. These fit great. I tried them on already. And I just like the way this kind of like breaks up the self-striping and makes that little like pink. And I was thinking of a way that I could do it just a little bit on each side that it would look like tiger stripes. I was like, I should try that on the other sock, but I probably won't.
No, the whole idea is mindless.
Yeah, this is what I like about it. I'm knitting it on 2.25 millimeter sock needles. I did not pay attention. I had these in another bag, so I was like, oh, those look good. I cast them on. The fabric was good, so I just went ahead with it. So these are cruising because that is a big needle to knit socks on. And I like them. I like them a lot. I'm sure the striping would be a little bit better if I was using a smaller needle, but I don't really care.
If it works for you, why?
No,
don't fix what ain't broke.
That's you know how I feel about it. But look how much I've knit in a week. I knit like a whole sock in a week, and I didn't even knit on it every day. So it's going well. And I love this yarn. I wish that I had more of it. It's soft and it's pretty.
It's not the bounce base because it's sparkles.
No, it's the sparkly one that she does. I don't know what it's called because I've never knit with it before. So that's number 1 on the needles. And I didn't look at the label before I wound it.
No, God forbid.
And then this is, but if you go on her website, she only sells one sparkly sock yarn.
Unless she's changed it since you had it.
Probably. Well, and she still makes soft kitty though.
Does she?
Yes. So the other thing that I have on the needles is my Afghan, which has gotten, I'm more than halfway done.
Oh. Do you need help?
Yeah. Can you just hold it? I did go to, it's big. I am almost halfway through the 3rd repeat. And I am going to do 4 repeats. I think 4 repeats is going to be more than enough. And in the middle of this repeat, I had to crack into the second skein on a couple of colors. So all of that you see pretty much is from one skein of each color, which is pretty good yardage.
Yeah, that is good yardage.
I'm probably going to need to get a 3rd skein of the gray because I am going to pick up the stitches on the edge here. You can see where I have to weave in all. I started weaving in some of the ends last night. I did like this many. Not very many. But I'm going to pick up stitches on both sides and knit a seed stitch edge that matches the one that's on the bottom and that will be on the top. I am loving knitting that. In fact, now that I've shown it, I can start knitting it again. I wanted it to be on a whole row, especially since it's gotten a little bit cooler here.
Drape it over yourself.
So I can I can put it over me because it's huge. And, but you can see why I need to have one small project because this is not something that I can take anymore. No. It's huge. No. And, but I love it. Again, this is from Michael's brand yarn, Loops and Threads, Impeccable. And these are all...
or Impressions?
Whoops, there goes my sock.
For some reason I thought it was Impressions, but I could be wrong.
Impeccable.
I'm sorry. Why am I thinking Impression?
Loops and Threads is close. And that's kind of a cute little purse they have on the front there. Not that I'd make it, but... and I got it at Michael's on sale, but I think it normally goes for like $3 a skein, so it's not an expensive yarn.
Right.
It's 100% acrylic, I'm pretty sure, but it feels good. Like, I like the way that it feels. It's, 100% acrylic. It doesn't feel... How come it doesn't squeak when I do it?
Because I'm pushing really hard to make it.
Oh, maybe it's only if you do it on that side. I don't know. I like the way that it feels. It doesn't feel plasticky
No, it doesn't.
To me. It feels kind of cottony. It's got like a,
I wouldn't push that far.
Well, but you know what I mean? It doesn't feel...
it doesn't feel acrylic.
No. But it doesn't feel like wool either.
No.
It's like in between. It feels more like cotton to me. It's got like a drier feel to it like this. But, I can throw it in the washing machine if it gets something on it, so I'm enjoying it. This is based on Patton's Spicy Chevron blanket with a ton of modifications that I have listed on Ravelry.
She doesn't knit the pattern usually as written, if you guys haven't noticed that by now.
I know. And, It's because I like to do things the way that I like them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And unless I design it myself, it's not going to be the way that I like it. And I just have come to accept the fact that 90% of the time when I buy a pattern, I'm probably not going to do it the way that it's written because something in there I'm going to be like, why would you do it that way? But everybody has their little things. Like, I like to do a certain kind of increase.
Sorry.
Let me just explain this. In my reel, she's looking at my Gmail, and I have 5,436 mails in my account, according to this iPad. But that is not true. On my actual account, I have a spam folder and like people who like marketing stuff, and then a third thing where stuff goes, and I never even look at those. They just
I know, but I have those too, but they don't show up in my.
Oh no, my main folder is just my regular.
But they don't show up on that part of it for me.
How are you doing that?
I have no idea.
I don't know, but it shows every single message that I've gotten.
Huh.
So it's really annoying. I never check my email on this either because...
Oh, see, I check mine on this.
I use my regular computer for that.
This is my computer.
So, anyway. So, yeah, right. I'm enjoying this. If you're interested in making one like this, you can see all of my modifications detailed on my project page for this project on Ravelry. I'm penny winning on Ravelry. I know I said that before, but just in case.
Just in case you didn't hear it through our giggles and laughter. So is that it?
That's all I have on the needles.
So I'm boring yet again. I still have the same two things on the needles because I have kind of misplaced my knitting mojo outside of work.
That's okay.
So the only thing I've been really knitting on is at work. And like I said, I get maybe an inch reset. So how often is this? This is my version of the fake duotone camo. Duotone, I don't remember who it's by. I never remember who it's by.
Flower yarn.
Okay. It takes two different skeins of yarn it's a free pattern, where you knit so many rows with one color and knit a couple of rows with the other. And then halfway through you alternate where you knit.
You change the number of rows the opposite way.
This is just a self-striping yarn by Snitches. It's the Zoot Suit in Syncope.
And that's what made me think of my Hello Soft Kitty.
Hello Soft Kitty.
Hello Soft Kitty. My Soft Kitty yarn. Because
Karate tomorrow.
Apparently that still goes. Because it was pink and gray and black. And that was pink and gray. I was like, ooh, I shouldn't have.
So, I probably have knit maybe 2 inches since last week. And like I said, it's just I bring it to work. This is how much I have left. I'm just going to knit until the end. And then
you'll be done.
Yeah, that's what I got. So that's that. And then, of course, the never-ending blanket.
I still haven't mailed my stuff out either. Sheila's going to make me package it up, so when I go to take my new DVR player.
See, I can't even show you because it's in the middle of something. It's getting there. It is. It is getting there. It's just, I get home. I'm so tired. I gotta deal with my boys. I don't want to deal with them sometimes.
You know what? People go through ups and downs with their knitting mojo, and it's part of life.
Yeah. So I haven't been knitting at home at all.
Well,
I've been playing 2048.
Oh, that came. I've been playing Blendoku.
I saw that.
I saw that. Blendoku,
and I'm like, yeah,
that would be the worst game for you.
I saw you post that on Instagram. I'm like, no way can I do that.
I'm playing this game called Blendoku where you have to organize colors according to their shade and the relationship with other colors. And the reason I found it is a few weeks ago, I found this website I was reading somewhere, there was a website, Test How Good Your Color Vision Is. And I want you to take it because you have to take 4 rows of colors from like one to the other and put them in the right order from one end to the other, the spectrum. And I took it and I have perfect color vision. Like I got all of them 100% perfect. And I was thinking, I bet Sheila wouldn't do that well. Because she doesn't see colors the way that I do.
Getting better. I'm getting better. I just was never taught how to do it. I never took really any art classes.
And you didn't really pay attention to it. Yeah.
It's blue.
So
it's a light blue. It's a dark blue. It's a blue.
So Blendoku is very similar. You have to organize colors based on their relationship to the other colors that are around them. And you know who loves it is Denise. I was like, Denise, you've got to play this.
So he has, I just finished the row, so this is what it looks like.
Yay!
It's getting there.
It's nice.
It's going to be a decent size. I mean, it's not going to be too big.
No, it's pretty. I like it.
So, then I got to wash it and get it all ready.
Yeah.
So that's my on the dance card.
And rate your date this week. I was hoping to have a PhD with my sock, but I don't have any dates to rate this week.
I don't either. No dates to rate.
And whirlwind romance. Nope.
So you're having a whirlwind romance mojo issue.
I'm having a low spinning mojo. My spinning wheel is still out. I do know that the Topsfield Fair competition is coming up.
Oh, yeah.
I told Diane she better be there because I'm going to whip her butt at that competition.
When is the Topsfield Fair?
It starts this weekend.
Oh. And it runs for what, 2 weeks?
Yeah. And I'm going to be there on either a Wednesday or a Thursday night. So if you're going to the Topsfield Fair, look at the fair schedule. Whatever night the spinning exhibition is, that's where I'll be. And I'm going to do 2 competitions. I'm going to spin and I now, because I've taken first prize 2 years in a row in my levels, I have to go in as expert.
Oh.
So I'm going to be going against Diane
head to head this
year. I don't know.
You're not going to win. Diane's good.
I don't know. And then I'm also going to be in the spindle competition, which I also have a strategy for. I would have won the spindling competition last year if I didn't break my yarn. I had done pretty well.
So I have the 10th and 13th off. Oh, maybe I'll go the 10th. I don't know. I like the Topsfield Fair. The only problem I have is you got to pay for parking. Then you got to pay for the fair.
If you go with me, like if you have that night off and you come with me, I don't have to pay for parking or entrance.
What night? Do you know?
I don't know when it is. I hope I'll be able to go. But I have a plan in place for how I'm going to spin this year. I'm going to do something different. Yup. I know what supplies I need. I'm ready.
That was Whirlwind Romance. Future dates?
Future dates. I don't really have anything on the horizon right now. I dreamed last night I was knitting that sweater, Hitafude. Because I don't know why. I just dreamed that I was working on it, but I'm not. My mother asked me to knit her a sweater, but I said no.
No.
I knit her a sweater once.
I thought it was a couple of times you've knit her a sweater.
Oh, I might have knit her 2 sweaters, but I'm done with that.
Alrighty.
So, how about you? Future dates?
Future dates, just at this point, finish these projects.
Yeah.
At least this one.
I know this is a future date.
You know what? I hate to even mention this, but you know what I gotta think about?
What?
Christmas.
Why?
Christmas gifts, if you want
to I don't
knit any Christmas gifts.
I don't really knit Christmas gifts anymore. I did one year for everybody. Only a few people were appreciative, so those people I would knit for again. But since we draw names now for our gift giving, it depends on whether I get a person that wants something.
Right.
So, and teacher gifts, I just give money into the class deal.
Well, Max is in middle school. I think I can get away without doing teacher gifts with him now.
I wonder if that's true with Lily, too. Because I don't think there's, like, a homeroom teacher. And she has, like,
There's
800 teachers,
There's a homeroom teacher, so maybe I think
But I mean, I meant homeroom parent. There's, like, she has, like, 8 or 9 teachers now. So, no way,
I think with Max homeroom, I did something. I don't remember what. But
If somebody contacts me,
probably fudge, like I did. No, let me put it this way. I think what happened is I gave him fudge to give to his homeroom teacher, and he never did. And I think, like, weeks later, when he was going back to school, we found it in his backpack. I'm like, I mean, it doesn't go bad, but it was all squished. I'm like, yeah, no. Throw it away. So, I don't know.
So, that's it for future dates. Baubles and Bling. Sheila showed you hers a couple weeks ago, but this is the Dia de los Muertos sock yarn I ordered from Desert Vista Dye Works. Sheila had the sport version, and this is the sock version. Love
How many yardage? How much yardage? Excuse
400
me.
something. 462.
Like
so I'll get a sock. Good...
What did you say? Well, I'm so used to knitting with sport that...
I dropped my other sock yarn on the floor.
It's about the same.
It's about the same.
Pretty colors.
Vibrant, I really like it. It's got 12 different colors that stripe with, I think, black in between.
Like a
line of black in between or something.
Like
so I think it'll be really pretty. I'm looking forward to it.
I know, I gotta cake mine up.
I know, me too. I have all of my... One of the things that a couple of us are doing are exchanging those You Are Here mugs, and I have all my mugs already in the car.
How come I didn't know about that?
I told you about it, and you said you didn't want to do it. The Starbucks mugs?
I didn't hear that.
Oh, well, you want one?
We'll talk about it afterwards. I'm like, wait a minute. I don't recall that.
A few people have opted out. I thought I told you about that.
No, I didn't hear that conversation.
Oh, a few of us are trading You Are Here mugs.
Okay, we'll
Are You Here mugs? You Are Here mugs.
We'll talk about it afterwards.
Yeah.
So Baubles and Bling. That's your Baubles and Bling.
That's my Baubles and Bling.
We got nothing else. I don't have anything.
No, not this week. Crushes and heartbreaks. My big heartbreak is that I have bursitis in my heel. Who even knew you could get bursitis in my heel? I did not know that. I have had my foot up, icing it for the last 3 days. I have ordered a special thing to wear on the back of my foot that is supposed to make it feel better. And I am wearing inserts in my shoes so that I don't keep straining it.
I thought you wore inserts already.
No. Oh. And if it doesn't get better by the end of this week, I'm going to have to go to the orthopedist. Because I do not want to have to... It is a pain like no other. I've had plantar fasciitis before, which is a pain on the bottom of your heel.
Right.
This feels like somebody is sticking a knife point into the back of my heel. Like below my ankle, like right in the back of my heel. It hurts so bad. And I guess the only way to really fix it is to rest it. So I've been wearing like a brace. I've been doing everything I can not to like keep injuring it. Mm-hmm. And I've been icing it. I have a bag of ice over there by the sofa. That's why I have the hassock out. I've been putting my leg up on it. So, yeah. And the way that it happened is I was running late for school one day because I usually walk over and pick my son up. So instead of putting on my sneakers, I put on my flip-flop, my Birkenstock flip-flops, and I was, like, rushing in them, and my surgical leg muscles must have just been
irritated
off enough that it, like, irritated the bursa on the back of my heel, and now it's like your Achilles tendon irritates this. So, I don't know. So that's, and my crush this week is that I had my physical and I got all checked out, and so I feel like I'm good for another year. I just have to get past my oncologist appointment in November. I'm good to go.
There you go.
So that's it for me.
My crushes and heartbreaks. So I did, seems like a gazillion loads of laundry this weekend.
New washer.
Got the new washer. Works great after a little hiccup. And it was just a balancing issue, which it tells you to pull out the old level. And I'm like, yeah. Well, I did, and it works. I've been having no problems, knock on wood. I really enjoy it. I did probably about 5 loads of wash. I am all caught up except for whatever is in the bathroom and sheets and blankets, which I have off this weekend, so I'm going to try and do sheets and blankets.
I am doing my sheets this evening.
Now, if some fairy could just put it away for me, I'd be happy. So that's one crush. I'm trying to think what else was going on. My sister, we went to Foxwoods. A friend of mine came up, and we went to Foxwoods, my husband, myself, and him. I don't bet. So we were there for hours, and I did nothing. I walk around. I people watch, because at one point the club was coming out. We didn't get home until 5 o'clock in the morning.
Oh, my gosh.
My sister-in-law had the boys. And I cannot put a $20 bill or anything in anywhere and bet. My husband tries to give me money, and I don't even bet with his.
See, I will put $20 in quarters into a slot machine, but I won't spend more than that. I see it as an entertainment fee.
I try. Problem is even if you did 1 cent or 5 cents, there's a minimum bet of like the 1 cent, there's a minimum bet of 40 cents. Or the 5 cent, there's like a minimum bet of 50 or $1. It's like they get you. Even though you're in the 5 cent, they get you. You know, you're not going to win unless you put anything. So I avoid it altogether.
Yeah, I just use the regular quarter slots, and anything that I win goes in a separate cup. And when my $20 is gone, I cash out whatever I have in the other cup, and I'm done.
And they don't do cups anymore. When was the last time you
No, now it's a card, right?
It's a sheet of paper.
Oh, yeah. The last time I went to a
voucher,
place,
so to speak.
The last time I went to a place, it was like a credit card.
No. Oh, well, it depends on where you go, I suppose.
And, yeah.
I suppose it depends on where you go.
It's been like, gosh, I think the last time I gambled was the last time we went to Montreal, which was a while ago.
So, yeah, we went to Foxwoods, and it was actually for Friday night. We got there probably about 10:30, 11 o'clock. It was very quiet. It was dead. We stayed till about 3, and it took us about 2 hours to get home. People watching was fun when the clubs came out.
Yeah.
These young women, what they're wearing these days. One woman bent over, and I was afraid, very afraid of what I was going to see. Because the skirt just went, like, right underneath, yeah.
Ooh.
I didn't see anything, thank God. And then the guys that are trying to pick them up are even funnier. Because they're all drunk off their butts.
Oh,
and,
gosh.
These girls are trying to walk in some of these shoes, and I'm looking at the shoes, I'm like, oh my gosh. I'm like, how do you walk in that? It was fun. It was fun candy. People watching type of thing.
Yeah.
I'm trying to think what else. Nothing else went on. Sunday was just laundry day. No crushes, no heartbreaks. Nothing. Just
no. I wanted to say one thing out there, and I want to just put it out there for a general opinion to see what people think about this. I'm trying to decide if I'm just old.
I know.
To preface this by saying I'm probably 10 years older than most of the mothers at my son's school.
Yeah, okay.
Most of them, because I had my kids after I'd been married for 13 years. So I'm an older mom. I think my first kid I had when I was 35 or 36. So I went to a birthday party. And I'm like, my son is 8, so he's been going to birthday parties for like 8 years. It's not, and my daughter is 11, and she's been going to birthday parties, since she was a baby. I went to a birthday party with my son last week. I went to drop him off. And not only was there no supervision, the kids were told to go out in the yard. And at one point, they all took off and ran around the neighborhood. There was nobody supervising them. So I was afraid to leave because the reason nobody was supervising them is that the parents had invited a bunch of the parents of the kids over, and they all had brought all this liquor. And so people were, like, drinking at the party. And
is this a weekend or a weekday?
It was a Friday night.
Okay.
So the parents of the birthday boy and a bunch of the other parents were drinking, and nobody was watching the kids, and 2 of the kids were missing after the kids ran around the yard, and somebody had to go look for them, and I had to leave because I had to pick my daughter up from ballet, so I couldn't stay any longer than like 20 minutes, And this is not one of my son's regular friends. I suspect that they invited all of the kids all the boys in the grade. Yeah. There are not a lot of boys in my son's grade. I think there's only like 12 boys in the whole grade.
Really?
In our little school. So there were just kids running around in the street. I mean, I don't live in the country, you know. So
meaning country, yeah. All right.
I don't live out where there's no traffic. I
live in the boondocks like me.
I live in the boondocks. So anyway, I was hesitant to leave because I felt like the adults weren't supervising, but a couple of the other moms were staying longer. So and they're friends of mine, and they felt the same way. So they were like, "We'll keep an eye on things." And I told my son to not leave the yard again. I said, "You're not allowed to leave the yard. I don't care if everybody else says they're leaving the yard. You stay, unless an adult's with you. You stay in the yard." And they had rented a truck that had video games inside it, like all these video game things. And once that came, the other moms texted me that it was more contained because everybody was in the truck, and there was somebody running the game truck who was like in charge of everybody. Right. So I felt good about that. And then my husband went to pick him up at the end of the party, and my husband said that a couple of people came out to talk to him about the adults that were like falling down drunk, like they were. And that bothered me. And so I'm wondering, is it because I'm old and a fuddy-duddy? I get partying, adults partying. I know sometimes people overindulge. I don't have a problem with that, but I do have a problem when you're responsible for other people's kids who are not at the party, like the adults are not at the party, right. And you're all drinking like fish. And I just, you know what I mean? Like, I've had barbecues where all the adults had beverages, but all the adults that had children were there and responsible for their own children.
I don't think it's an age thing. I think it's a maturity thing, it's kind of like, yes, that's age, but not necessarily. You can have a 30-year-old who's more mature than a 40-year-old type of deal based on their upbringing. So I know that in my neighborhood, we have the bonfires and my neighbors will get drunk, but we're walking home.
Right.
And we're not responsible. Thing. They're not responsible for my kid. See, do you know what I mean? We're still responsible for our own. So I would feel very uncomfortable with that.
I think it would have bothered me less if I had stayed the whole time, because then I would have felt like, if somebody else wants to. But it bothered me that they didn't have any responsible adults that were
sober.
Yeah.
That you know of.
That I know of.
Like.
And if my husband noticed that somebody was drunk, they must have been plastered, because my husband is not good at noticing stuff like that. And the other two moms, both of them did end up leaving early and coming back. And she said at the end of the party, she was kind of upset by it too, that it was.
Did anyone talk to the host of the party? Like, were they drunk?
Well, my husband wasn't sure. Like I said, these are not people that we
so you don't even know
regularly
really who the
interact with. I mean, I know them. Obviously, I know the parents, but I've never socialized with them. So,
does your husband know the parents?
I mean, we know of them, but you
don't know, like, to pick out the crowd.
He would not. Jim doesn't recognize anybody. He did not think it was the parents of the party, but But he wasn't 100%. He wasn't 100% sure. And he said it was more than one person, and that it was pretty raucous in there, and nobody was really checking.
What time did he pick?
8:00.
That's not right. That's not
right. It's one thing if you want to drink like that at a kid's party. I don't have a problem with that. It's another thing if you're in charge of my children at the same time.
Well, that's the thing. If you're hosting,
you should be more responsible. And like maybe after all the kids go home and it's just like the families that are,
in the neighborhood.
Then if you want to kick back and drink or whatever, then do it. But don't do it when you're supposed to be watching my child. It really has bothered me. And it goes back to the year when those people got drunk at the Museum of Science Girl Scout trip. Some of the same people.
That's right. Okay, that makes sense. Well, there you go. It's the maturity level.
Yeah. So, but then I started, me and my two girlfriends that were also there, their kids also do not regularly play, and they don't really socialize with those people. You know, I asked my son if he even wanted to go, and he did because it was a game truck.
Right.
I won't be making that mistake again.
If it's a party that you feel that you don't want them to go to, you just kind of slip the invitation somewhere.
I just won't tell them about it. No, it's just one of those things.
It's a shame.
But I thought, am I just getting really old? And I've honestly never have taken my kid to a birthday party and left them there where A, I felt uncomfortable leaving, and B, where the people running the party and supervising were getting drunk. I've never had that. I've been to many parties with my kids where the adults had a few drinks, but never where people were like getting plastered, So this was new for me. But anyway, I just thought I'd throw it out there, like, if I'm being unreasonable, I don't know.
No, I don't think so.
That makes me feel better. Thank you.
You're welcome. I've never heard of it before, I guess you could say, but...
Just seems odd, doesn't it?
Yeah, a little
And
bit.
then my husband told me that another kid's parents that were there partying, Jack had been to a place with them before, a party at their house, and he said it was the same thing when he came back. There were a bunch of adults there drinking. I was like, oh my gosh, he didn't even mention it to me. I was like, well, he's not going there again either. He's like, yeah, it seems a little irresponsible.
The last party that we went to, Zachary was invited last year, and they're at an age, Zach was 10, so they're at an age whether or not you're sure if you drop off or not.
Right.
This had a jumpy house, a bouncy house, so I let the mother kind of dictate it.
Yeah.
And she invited me in. I'm like, okay, so I'm not going. I mean, they offered me alcohol. I chose not to because that's not me unless I know I'm not going anywhere.
Yeah.
But I would not, they were funny. I had a blast with them. They were not drunk in any which way or form.
No, they were just having
responsible.
A couple of, I mean, I don't have a problem
They were serving food. But I'm just saying, I'm trying to think. I'm like, I mean, none of the other moms were there. I was the only one.
I mean, people were coming in with a big, like, case of beer, and it was like a college party, but with kids. I don't know. I just was like, is this normal now? Because my kids have been to a lot of birthday parties, and I've never seen this
I've been
before.
to a neighborhood party where, they have a cooler full of beer.
Yeah.
But no, it's
like
a neighborhood birthday
party.
No, it was a birthday party, and they have a case, a cooler full of beer.
Beer.
Sorry. But most of it was family with, like, the neighbor.
Well, and we've had barbecues
what
where
I mean?
we had a cooler full of beer for the adults, and it was family and friends at a barbecue, and there were kids there. But I've never hosted a birthday party where I had alcoholic beverages that I gave out to the parents. A family barbecue is one thing.
See, I don't know. All of my birthday parties have been a lot of family and neighborhoods.
Well, it's like a barbecue kind of thing.
But it was all all neighborhood. But
where people walk over. Yeah, no. To me, that's different. It's like, if it's an outdoor barbecue.
But I've never, any of my boys' birthdays, because of what time they fall on, is never usually class.
Let's put it this way. If I'm serving food for everybody and whole families are invited, like at a barbecue, where you're not just inviting the kid to the party, you're inviting a family.
Right.
I've served alcohol at those. I have never had a party that was just where the kids were doing something where I also served alcohol to the adults. So it was just weird to me. It was like, and I thought it was weird when I got the invitation because it asked how many adults were attending and how many kids were attending. Yeah, and I thought that was strange.
That's weird.
But now I know.
That should have been the key right there.
Weird. I've never had that happen before. But I don't think I'm going to be comfortable letting him do anything like that again. It was nice of them to invite us, but I just don't think it's good.
No.
So now we are at Gossip and Innuendo. First of all, we already drew winners for the 2 contests. Last week we introduced the pattern.
2 weeks ago.
2 weeks ago, sorry.
Grape in the Grain.
The Grape in the Grain by Carrie Weimer, who's also Kagi of High Fiber Diet. And I think I have a copy of it right here. This is what it looks like. It is a very pretty knitted shawl that you pick up from a crocheted edging. And the winner of that contest was post number 11. And her username is Rherlih.
Mm-hmm.
Probably Herlihy. I'm guessing it's short for Herlihy. Rherlih, whose real name is Rosemary, and she would use delicious yarns to knit this pattern, knit and crochet this pattern. So,
she had 2 skeins worth.
Rosemary, I am going to send your name to Kagi from the High Fiber Diet, and she will send you a copy of Mixing the Grape and the Grain. Yay! And the big winner of sock architecture
is number 40, Books Biker, also known as Barbara. That's her real name. She liked the Seidel socks. I think it was Sidle socks. I can't read my own handwriting. I'm sorry. So, congratulations, Barbara. We will get in touch with Cooperative Press.
I will send your name to... I'm going to look up... This is the Seidel socks. I don't know if she picked toe up or toe down, but I am going to show you. Oh, yeah. Oh, and the fun thing is the author, Laura Neal, of this book came to our group.
Yeah, she posted on the thread.
Yeah, which was kind of cool. And she said that one that we were worried about, that we thought might rub. Remember that weird heel?
Right.
She said that
her wife,
who has very tender feet, did not have a problem with it.
She showed us, she linked to a slipper that had it.
I think this was the one. Wasn't that the one?
No, it was vertical up on the heel like this.
It was?
Yes.
Okay. So thank you for weighing in, Laura Neal, because it's good to know. I don't know how to make this go back to the... Where's the little thing?
I don't know.
Oh, it's underneath this. Do you see how it, like...
Yeah.
I don't know how to make that go away. It's underneath the thing. Can you tell my son's been using my iPad?
Not any different than mine, probably. Was it this one? It might have been this one.
Ooh, I think that's the one. Yes.
Yes.
That one.
We were questioning whether or not... Oh, that's
you
horrible.
You could feel that.
And she said her wife does not. She's got very tender feet, and her wife does not feel it.
So it's good to know.
Yeah.
It's an interesting heel.
It is an interesting heel. I'm going to... My next sock, I'll have to pick one.
I know. You kind of want to try them out.
I do.
It's really cool.
Maybe for that sock.
I know. Maybe do a fun heel on that.
Oh, well, no, because I have to mix a different color with it because I don't have a lot of yardage.
Right. So, Barbara, you will be getting a copy of Sock Architecture from Cooperative Press.
And when you get a copy and you...
if you knit something...
Please let us know. I'd like to see it.
Yeah, post it in the thread. Post in the group so that we can see what you knit, because... It's kind of exciting. I think you're really going to love this book.
Just a reminder, we still have that September and October stash down thread going on. We forgot about it.
We're going for 2 months this
2 months,
time.
And we're going to draw 2 prizes, one for each month. But anything that's finished in September and October is eligible as long as it's 6 months or older for a stash.
And now we're going to introduce a new contest. For Twist Fiber Studio is the one who is sponsoring it. So let me just tell you a little bit about this. Okay. Ashley Askew is running a Kickstarter to raise funds for a business that she is calling Twist Fiber Studio. And she contacted our podcast and asked if we would host a contest. And the way that the contest is going to work is that in the contest thread, we will link you to the Kickstarter page. And she wants you to go on there and tell her which colorway or combination you would... on
our thread?
On our group.
Okay.
That's what you post. You go to her thing, you look at our stuff on her Kickstarter page.
Then you come back to the contest
and you post
thread.
on our page which thing you would... what was your favorite or anything like that. Here's the thing. We don't know Ashley personally. We just want to make this clear. And we've not had any of her product. So we've never seen her. She makes bags, yarn, and fiber. We haven't seen any of that. So we're not personally recommending this. And this isn't a person that we have like a relationship with. And because sometimes we promote our friends. And I'm always promoting stuff that I like and Sheila and that we've bought that we really love. So this is not that situation. But what I can tell you about this, because, you know, it's all on her Kickstarter page, Ashley is a student business, in a student business program called Student Business Incubator. And she's been getting counseling and coaching and access to resources like accountants and attorneys and some funding to help her get a business off the ground. And this is what she's doing with that project. So they've helped her develop a business plan, helped her contact wholesale suppliers. So she is, I think, based on this, it sounds like she's taking legitimate steps to make a real business.
Right.
And she's offered prizes, and I'm going to show you the 2 prizes that you can win.
From our group.
There are also rewards if you fund her Kickstarter. That's
Which
the way
is all
Kickstarter
explained on
works.
Kickstarter.
That's all on that group. For different levels of money, you can win different things. But let me show you the prizes that she's offering on our group. If you are a knitter, well, there are going to be 2. You can pick from one of 2 things.
It's going to be one prize.
Yes,
one prize.
One winner.
You get to pick either this yarn.
You can get this Brevard worsted yarn in sweater weather colorway, or you can pick BFL fiber in the Galaxy colorway. And there will be pictures of both of these on our contest thread.
So what we need you to do is just go over to her Kickstarter.
The link will be in the thread.
If you're interested in funding it, by all means fund it.
You can, but we're not personally recommending that you do because we don't know it. And you don't have to fund it. If you can
all
still be in the contest.
All we're asking you to do is just take a look at the
check
Kickstarter.
It out.
Then come back, post a message on the thread stating which one you like.
The best.
And that's all you have to do.
And that's all you have to do to win in our contest.
To get entered to win the contest.
But, you know.
And we'll do a random number generator
Same
just like
we always do. We're running this contest for an entire month. Her Kickstarter is running for a month. And I want to show you, she does something that's kind of interesting. She is selling bags, yarn, and fiber that are coordinated. You don't have to buy them all together, but you can. And she's got several different options. They're really pretty. Close-up view. This one is called Coraline. And here's a close-up view. This is my favorite. Yeah. Zelma. I think that is so pretty. I love aqua and red together like that. I think they're really pretty. So it's interesting. And you can research it more yourself by reading her Kickstarter page. She talks about how she's planning on fulfilling the rewards if she meets her goal. Her initial goal is $5,000. She's already had $1,700 in pledges, so she's doing really well. And we're doing the contest mostly so she can advertise and get the word out there that she's having a Kickstarter. So, like we said, you can join in the contest. There's no requirement to fund her to be in our contest. And you can check out her page and see what you think.
That's how we're asking you to do.
That's all you have to do. See what you think. And I'm interested to see what happens. Mm-hmm. So, yeah, this is the first time we've ever done a contest related to a Kickstarter. So it's kind of a different thing.
Yeah. Let us know what you think on the threads.
Yeah.
Because, I think, I'm sorry, what's her name again? Kristen?
Ashley.
I don't know why I say Kristen. I don't know why. Kickstarter, maybe. I'm sure Ashley would love any input you would give her.
Any input, yeah. I'm sure you can contact her. I'm sure there's information. Yes, and you can also put input in our thread and what you think about doing a contest for a Kickstarter like this. Because this is our first time doing that. It's really our first time promoting anything that we don't really know.
I mean, it's yarn. We know
fiber.
It's yarn and fiber and bags. But we don't know her. And, we're just mentioning that she's doing a Kickstarter. That's it.
She also has something called the Twisted Stitcher Podcast. She puts out an episode on the 5th and the 15th of each month. And you can get more information about her endeavor from that. And on her Kickstarter page, there's a video, too. Okay. So there's a lot of information on our Kickstarter page. So if you do want to invest in it, educate yourself from that page.
All right.
So, That'll be drawn at the end of October along with the other stash busting thread. And that's it.
So today is October 1st. We have 16 days. Is it 16 days? Till Rhinebeck. Excited.
I am too. I got to get my leg better before Rhinebeck. I can't live with that pain.
Well, you know, that's the thing I was thinking, because you remember how I kept falling last year? I need to find better shoes to wear.
Yeah.
I don't want to wear sneakers, but I will if I have
I might have to wear my sneakers with those inserts. I don't know.
So,
I'm really worried about it.
But I'm looking forward to it.
Me too. I'm excited for it. I'm excited for Stitches East. I'm going to that.
Yeah, probably.
Well, if you want to go, let me know. I'm going. I'm trying to get Diane to go. The 9th, maybe? Is that a weekend? I'll tell you exactly when it is.
No, I think it's the week before, the 13th. Does that coincide with...
It's the 11th.
I think I got to work that weekend. Because that's the weekend before our trip, right? Yeah, that's the weekend before our trip. I'm working.
It's the 11th.
I got the 10th off, and I'm working the 11th, 12th, 13th, 14th, and 15th.
Oh, we could go on the 10th, but it's not really fun on that day.
I know, but it's the day I have off.
I don't know if the marketplace is open on that day. I only go for the marketplace.
I know. I don't need anything from the marketplace, so that's fine. I don't need to go.
I don't need anything either.
I gotta figure out how to knit my stash down. Especially that blue moon.
Well, that's it for this week. We'll see you next week.
Thanks for watching us.
Knit with Heart. Bye.